has flagged another one of U.S. President Trump tweets.
This is the third time now that Twitter has slapped what it calls a public interest notice on one of the time the U.S. president was warning protesters in Washington, D.C. that they would be met with, quote, serious force if they established an autonomous zone near the White House. Twitter said that violated the company's guidelines about abusive behavior. And then it's decided to hide the tweet behind its public interest notice because it felt there was a threat of harm against an identifiable group. I'm Richard Southern.
Coming up at 11:48, Canada begins testing a vaccine for COVID-19. Details up next.
Well, corporate America says you're being threatened by your own president.
What's good for their patients. So if they say shit, I believe them, and so should your long-term disability insurer. My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your long-term disability claim has been denied, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, we only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at Pounds LTD.
A message for Warhouse. When you use the Warhouse key badge, you protect your keys. If you lose your keys, the finder can call the number on the back of the tag or drop them in any mailbox. And the Warhouse will return your keys to you for free. Order your key tags today at warhouse.ca and make a difference in the lives of amputees.
All these niggas saying they wrapped up, boy, none of them ain't got diamonds, right? They not riding. Only thing I'm ducking is a cop siren. I'm out driving, going cops and islands, and I'm trying to hide about fire hydrant. I'm not lying, so stop trying. Why the fuck is you lying? Man, like you back at it again, but then why is that to look back to why I still ride? These jump ass. Lord have mercy, y'all, these niggas sound like ragamuffins. Mac, daddy, Mac, and had a jumping. To get a stack of shock attack like one-on-one with Duncan. A crossover layer, maybe I might just stand with Duncan. Why this type of bodies are hide the cops punking that pulling up in no front. American most of that foot. Let's take it back to that raw. 10 minutes of that store. Yo, the pink flying out of the number 4. When the number sure that's 100 more. I got 100 cars on the daily boy for the rugged raw with a lion's paw. Lion's claw for my Iron King. I got an iron boy with a press niggas like America. You niggas soft like why you niggas want to try me for? For now, my niggas are spinal course like dinosaurs playing Diana Ross. To get my body across it like an arrow does. Beware of us. New Toronto or old Toronto. Same shit. Nah, just keep 6 cause 6 up whenever Drake snitch. New Toronto or old Toronto. Same shit. Nah, just keep 6 cause 6 up whenever Drake snitch.
They ain't gonna know that the king will be coming back. They hating so bad, but I'm glad, man. What's up with that? The traps have been laid, I'ma slay up a couple rats. Run to the top, make your lady get wet. But believe you can bet it's a bubble, tis a motherfucking season. They ain't gonna know that the king will be coming back.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because the kids now growing up, you say Bubba or Black, but Bubba's gonna be a black guy, yeah. And he drives a race car.
They ain't gonna know that the king will be coming back. They hating so bad, but I'm glad, man. What's up with that?
They hating so bad, but I'm glad, man. What's up with that?
Run to the top, make your lady get wet. Best believe you can bet it's a bubble back.
Hey, where's the Latino for? Oh, you guys got slow low. That's like working
NASCAR. They'll feel my pain. All about blood sport. I can still see the stains. I control who I keep around me. Out here just collecting bounties. I'm dope mixed in with brownies. Oh, I do it all proudly. On a new journey, skin adamantium, nothing really hurt me. I'm so dirty, nobody worthy. 3 old rappers, last time I'm 30. Smoke kid hardly, you love poppers. Bodies on the table, I'm feeling like a doctor in Sheffield. For only one reason, everybody getting cause the motherfucking season.
I can make it someone everybody loves. I can make it so the media, everyone in TV will only want to hit you with applause. Oh God, this beat goes on. I can make it number one on every chart. I can put you up the ladder. I can make it better. I can give you Grammy nomination and awards. Oh God, I can make it to a star. I can make you someone everybody loves. I can make it so the media and everyone in TV will only want to hit you with applause. Oh God, this beat goes on. I can make it number one on every chart. I can put you up the ladder. I can make it better. I can give you Grammy nomination and awards.
And you're waiting, what is boy damn perpetrating? Delaying the payments, my bullets make your body flip around like a cadence. Lord can't save you, regulate your behavior. Leave your body gonna tell you for the neighbors. Happy Thanksgiving, something turkeys for anthrax. For the coca and the package. Y'all niggas ain't real rappers. Multiply the money, I'm a factor. I don't need a place in a casket. I'm a straight savage. I don't ever ask it unless it's the actress. They put the lips in the acting. So they finna catch his gag on the back of a melon. Everybody wanna take it, but they can't sell it. You won't need a password to come into my toilet. How you in the trap, but police can't stop it. They don't recognize and you look up a million. You with some niggas on the street, they don't wanna see us eat. I don't wanna be low-key, I can never be discreet. Cause the boys yelling in my brain said I was a king. And a man with a vision can achieve anything. All of my contradictions give me gifts I couldn't see. And I heard angels sing, so I'm calm psychedelics. And everything in my way was standing in the mirror. I ain't never give a fuck about a twin ass nigga. Where you at, nigga? I be pulling up where you not, nigga. With your side hoe and the cat, nigga. See me at the show, girls gotta give me that, nigga. Everybody know I'm that nigga. Know where you at, nigga. Nigga, motherfucker season. Where is you when niggas ain't believe it? Raiden Black Star, Julius Caesar. Just a tip, yeah, this is just a teaser. I can make you to a star. I can make you someone everybody loves. I can make it so the media, everyone in TV will only want to hit you with applause. Oh God, this beat goes on. I can make it number one on every chart. I can put you up the ladder. I can make it better. I can give you Grammy nomination and awards. Oh God, I can make it to a star. I can make you someone everybody loves. I can make it so the media, everyone in TV will only want to hit you with applause. Oh God, this beat goes on. I can make it number one on every chart.
Hey, yo, shut up.
I can give you Grammy nomination and awards.
Nigga, let it never know, nigga, this is season. Boy, got that dope, holla at me if you need it. The worst boys better than your worst. Mama told me then I give you put a spell like a curse. Boy, do a lot of dirt, but I never took a purse. Coming for that bag, coming for your last nigga. $20 to me, running mad nigga. I've been doing good, feeling like a sad nigga. Whoa, you never know, cause a nigga smoke poet. I've been on my job, that nigga got promoted. I be that nigga, you decided nigga 40. You would think I'm feeling heated, but I really feel cold. This trip on my shoulder like a super fucking boulder. Remember you was younger, cool, wait till you was older. Now you fucked up and you with another yo just to get another bag for your body. Like a hold up, I just wanna rap. I'm really in the trap, I just wanna spit the facts. Y'all had a problem, we can leave it in the past. So I'm trying to throw stones while looking under glass. Oh man, goddamn, nigga catch a wave. Same chain on my neck, looking like a slave. Niggas want the future, but they never wanna pay. I remember homie saying something like in the play. Niggas hate, they wanna say. Only reason why they tight, cause the boy been nice. Do I really love rap? Do I really pay the price? Do I really love this light? Really pay the price? Never took me to a star. Who are y'all? I don't really fucking know, but I'm feeling like a god. God, nigga. I'm the type of person you see.
I can make it to a star. I can make it someone everybody loves. I can make it so the media, everyone in TV will only want to hit you with applause. Oh God, this beat goes on. I can make it number one on every chart. I can put you up the ladder. I can make it better. I can give you Grammy nomination and awards. Oh God, I can make it to a star. I can make it someone everybody loves. I can make it so the media, everyone in TV will only want to hit you with applause. Oh God, this beat goes on. I can make it number one on every chart. I can put you on the double up.
Southside, get close, we get close when we ride. Southside, we get close when we ride it. Don't get close, we get close when we ride it. If I ain't in the then I'm OT grinding. I'm right at the spots where the cops can't find nobody knows. where the cops can't find them on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. If I ain't in the hood, then I'm OT grinding on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. Where the cops can't find them on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. Living life as a fugitive who really wants to hurt me. Enough people following me, my whole fam dissing me. Love is like a mystery, I ain't got shit to feed. I'm on my own, these think they care if I fucking breathe. God bless me, and I ain't even in the mood to sneeze. Mood to squeeze, shit that cut it off like the breeze. Do this rap shit with ease, used to rock for the police. First one to duck low and shoot, when it's time to squeeze. First one to go for OT for the longest. Get this motivation over 20 years, then the drop is there. Bitches looking at tender life and he's still living, still crippin'. God bless my niggas in that whole bridge is screaming DDS. Don't get close when them brains hit the front page or back streets. My YGs will go get it. Focus and have them switched up all in 1 second. Focus and have them switched up all in 1 second. Don't get close, we get close and we riding. Get close, we get close and we riding. Don't get close, we get close and we riding. If I ain't in the hood, then I'm OT grinding on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. Nobody knows. Where the cops can't find them on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. If I ain't in the hood, then I'm OT grinding on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. Nobody knows. Where the cops can't find them on the run. At the spot where the cops can't find them. Is your niggas really riding? Is your girl really riding? I don't know, but I'm strapped. If he comes, I provide him with flow. Shoot straight, make sure that you lining. Laugh when I see that pussy nigga start crying. I'm a boss in the jungle, something like a lion. Ask about me, you probably heard that I slimed him. Real beef, I ain't tryna bottom up her time. Don't get close, we get close and we ride it. My nigga fuck my accent, she gave me dome after. She did, so I dashed her. I had a pastor, didn't even cuss one word when I slapped her. Turned it to a whore, stripper. Dancer, taxer, axer, life coach master. Found a sick chick, her mama knows I'm a black, so she hotels. And I got some girls in the hotel. And I got some girls in the hotel. Don't get close, we get close and we riding. We get close and we riding. Don't get close, we get close and we riding. If I ain't in the hood, then I'm OT grinding on the run. At a spot where the cops can't find them. Nobody knows. Where the cops can't find them on the run. At a spot where the cops can't find them. If I ain't in the hood, then I'm OT grinding on the run. At a spot where the cops can't find them. Nobody knows. Where the cops can't find them on the run. At a spot where the cops can't find them.
Yep, I noticed. I honestly look in the mirror and realize how often I was doing it.
ABK, Palmer Court, Marksman, 380 degree. I don't know what type of day it is. Sit.
She honking like that with that horn.
Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Where you at? Hit me up with the money, with a stand. Get this paper, get this cash. No, we here with my niggas in the trash. Put it in, flip it quick, get it back. Hit me up with my niggas in the room, cleaning up, sweeping up with a broom. Run it down, run it down, run it down. Double cup, double cup, double cup. So I got a couple racks today. Didn't think I'd make it, but I made it back today. Cashing out in the bank every day. Put in work, get paid. Hey, where my niggas at? Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Just got off the plane, juice all in my veins. 6 buzzing my name, no one on these flames. Fucking Friday night, I ain't playing no games. I'm that West End chick that was raised in the lane. And yeah, you won't believe, pay up, just raise the fee. They calling, but they can't get a hold of me. This beats on Friday, BET, raise a bar for the scene. If the work ain't clean, don't come for me. They show up before, but they wanna come around. I'ma ride this way, put the water
Museum bag in the plastic section. Give a fuck what them big bags say. Watch these bodies get thrown out. Glory, kids is good to glory. If you don't know the story, the it's a mercy, but you must be a lady. I thought you made you. You must be a lady. You thought you made you.
It's HBLG.
I wonder what a fish thinks of a gun. You must see enough of them. Oh, it's supposed to make sense. Not bad. Sometimes they come in here. What the fuck is a gun? You lie. That did not happen dead on the fucking. Oh, it did.
Enter stage 2. The popular Sabo Beach has been closed. The local council made the decision after thousands of beachgoers defied restrictions and dozens of tickets were handed out, mostly to GTA residents. The Seoul District School Board's Director of Education has lost his job.
This is a dozen and thousands.
Before government moves in to address countless complaints of systemic racism.
The man found guilty of setting up a fake GoFundMe account for the Humboldt Broncos.
Why was the OPP already up there?
Will serve jail time. Time for the MLB and its players to play ball as tennis star Novak Djokovic tests positive for COVID-19. Sports at 15. Earnings action continues today with first quarter results expected from Mark coming off another winning session. Set to begin trading
Oh, they are wrong. Is it loaded now?
This report is brought to you by Don Valley North Lexus. So just the major problems right now. We still have some delays on the westbound 401 between Dixon and the 427. Not a lot of room to get by through this construction zone. And then also seeing some a bit of a slowdown still on the northbound 427 between Rexdale and north of Finch. Not a lot of room through this construction zone either. So let's talk about some ramps that are closed too. So southbound Trafalgar, northbound Allen, southbound Morningside, southbound Port Union ramps to the eastbound 401 shut down. We had the Brock Street, the Nielsen, the Markham, the northbound McCowan ramps to the westbound 401 closed, and the southbound Martin Grove ramp to the highways also blocked off. North and south 400 ramps to Highway 9 closed for a crash investigation. And northbound 427, if you're trying to get on from westbound Derry or the Finch ramps, you won't be able to. No exiting the north 427 this morning to Finch or Highway 7. Expect excellence in the showroom or online with Don Valley North Lexus On Demand. Lease a 2020 NX 300 for $178 bi-weekly. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com. Your next report is at 12:11, and with forecast, here's Adam Kyle.
Today we're on the way. I still see a little bit of pressure lingering into the morning.
If you're looking for me, I'll be on the block. Same cop, possibly sitting on the drop. Haters wanna hate, they spotters wanna spot. But haters is snitch, they get popped on my block. Like everybody acting like they ain't got reactions. Like hustle on the block, I call it a transaction. Like you don't fuck with flatline, like come on baby, pass on right. Game ain't over, this is still full action. Like that's the city of rock. I got marijuana, shit don't stop. I get your teeth knocked out, get you out on my block. I got
a steel cock shout. If you ain't on top, and then the boys call me rich. Boys call me pretty boy. Feel on my head. I ain't talking shitty boy. Just see on me right there. Like a fucking white man.
Up today, including Yorkdale, Sherway Gardens, Bayview Village, and Eaton Center. Just keep in mind, not all stores within those malls are ready to offer in-store services. Many are still just offering curbside pickup. While food courts are also opening back up, you can't actually sit in the dining area to enjoy your meal. Stage 2 is also great news for parents who can finally take their kids to the splash pad. And if your sideburns have become unruly, you can finally book that long-awaited hair appointment.
I'm not sure. Really skinny.
Baseball is set to return following weeks of uncertainty. The league and its players have finally come to an agreement. Players set to report for another version of training on July 1st, and the league's imposed 60-game season will start either July 23rd or 24th. The schedule based on a regional alignment, and each team will face its divisional opponents 40 times, plus another 20 interleague games in total. As for the Blue Jays, because of the current border restrictions, players are expected to report to the team's minor league complex in Florida.
After thousands of people flocked to Sable Beach this past weekend, the mayor of South Bruce Peninsula is shutting it down, blaming the closure on GTA day trippers. 680's Phil Martino joins us now with that story. Town of South Bruce Peninsula Mayor Janice Jackson says they had opened Sable Beach in a phased approach with a walkthrough only restriction. But this past weekend, it turned into a free-for-all.
We had about 10,000 people on the beach, and they were
Generation
in huge numbers, far exceeding the 10 amount that the premier had set out. They were breaking all of our regular beach bylaws, drinking and barbecuing and tents all over the place.
Dozens of tickets were issued, and according to Jackson, most of them were handed out to GTA residents.
We really had absolutely no choice but to close the beach down until we can get some extra OPP coverage. That's what we desperately need.
Jackson's message to GTA residents is, if you can't behave, her town can't host you. I'm Phil Martino.
Ontario unveiling its new basics elementary math curriculum, which includes new sections of financial literacy and coding. Students from grades 1 to 8 will begin learning the updated curriculum when the school year resumes in September. Premier Ford says this is the first restructuring of math in 15 years in the province. For the first time ever in Canada, students
you understand
from
they thought it was just fine 25 years ago. You don't need new math every couple years. It doesn't change.
As part of the math curriculum. That coding starting as early as grade 1. There will be no EQAO testing as well for grades 3 and 6 in the coming years as everyone adjusts to the new modules.
What were computers capable of back then? We were doing everything anybody could do with them.
Dozens of lawyers are speaking out against what they allege are countless instances of anti-Black and anti-Indigenous racism in the Ontario Public Service. 45 lawyers have reportedly written to the Ministry of the Attorney General asking for immediate action. The letter obtained by CBC News outlined several incidents in which the lawyers faced discrimination or harassment on the job. The CBC reports the lawyers say there's been a lack of action from employers when they make a complaint. The lawyers work in the Ontario government's ministries, agencies, and crown corporations.
Well, you weren't taught to type.
He was on News Radio 680s at 12:07. The
one of
director
the
of
first
education
programs they had us
school
using
board
on the
has been let
computer
go just a day after the province appointed a supervisor to address the issue of potential systemic discrimination. 680's Caitlin Lee takes a look.
A statement says Peter Joshua is no longer with the Peel District School Board.
Yeah, the video
Education
games really did help
Minister
us with that.
Stephen
You
Lecce
got
initially
shit all
gave
you
the
want
board time to put together an anti-racism
stupid.
policy
It's
last month. But he says successive reports showed not enough was being done to address complaints of anti-Black racism, Islamophobia, homophobia, and anti-Semitism in the classroom.
And no child should feel isolated as a consequence of the color of their skin or their orientation or their faith. That is not this country. It's not the country we strive to build.
The newly announced supervisor is meant to turn things around is Bruce Rodriguez. He has a long resume, including being the former Toronto Catholic School Board Director, former Deputy Education Minister, and the former CEO of EQAO. I'm Caitlin Lee, 680 News Time, 12:08. Happening now in Mississauga for the third day in a row, family, friends, and community members have taken over the intersection of Galway and Morningstar Drives near the home where a man with schizophrenia died during a wellness check by police. The family of Ijaz Chaudhry are demanding answers as to why the 62-year-old father of 4 was gunned down. Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie says the family is angry and wants more from the Special Investigations Unit.
While I know many don't necessarily agree with that process, I am urging the SIU to act expeditiously and to conduct their investigation quickly and to release their report to the public.
Meantime, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help support the man's family.
680 News Time, 12:09. The man found guilty of setting up a fake GoFundMe account for the Humboldt Broncos after the junior hockey team's bus crash will be serving jail time. Andre Olesiak raised nearly $4,000 through the page, deposited the funds into his own account, and then spent it. The Crown prosecutor says it's clear he took advantage of a national tragedy.
I hope that it's true, and I hope he repays the money down the road that he owes to those victims.
Olesiak has been sentenced to 14 months behind bars.
After being closed for over 3 months, the Art Gallery of Ontario has announced it will be reopening next week with some limitations. Only AGO members and annual pass holders will be able to visit starting July 2nd, while the general public will be able to drop by beginning July 23rd. Officials say they're taking advice from health officials and will be implementing new health and safety measures as well as capacity limits. All staff and visitors will be required to wear a mask and adhere to physical distancing.
Here's Dr. Anthony Fauci cautiously optimistic there will be a COVID-19 vaccine by the end of the year or early 2021. Fauci spoke to a House committee in Washington earlier on Tuesday.
I believe it will be when and not if we get favorable candidates with good results. We will be able to make them available to the American public. As I said to this committee months ago, within a year from when we started, which would put us at the end of this calendar year and the beginning of 2021.
About 2.3 million Americans have contracted COVID-19 so far, and some 120,000 have died.
Coronavirus updates and breaking news.
All on the Be the First to Know newsletter.
Sign up now at 680news.com/newsletters.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Info says the price of gas went up a cent at midnight to $1.05.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather are next.
680 News Time, 12:10.
Find a car today, a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Now, see here, I know you're an expert on buying a car and all, and I appreciate that, I really do.
Multiple lanes open for you right now, but they are working in a bunch of them underneath the 427. So you're down to just a couple lanes getting by here. It's actually single file right now. I'm taking a look, and that's the reason for the slowdown. So there's those 180 in the left lane as you approach the 427. That's it. That's our only delay out there. The rest will just mention the ramps. Southbound Trafalgar, northbound Allen, southbound Morningside, and the southbound Port Union ramps onto the eastbound 401 are closed. No access to the westbound 401 from Brock Street, Nielsen, Markham Road, or northbound McCowan. These ramps block. Southbound Martin Grove ramp to the westbound 401, that's also shut down. North and South 400 ramps to Highway 9 closed for a crash investigation. We have the westbound 401 express ramp to the 404 shut down as well too. Northbound 427 delays have eased in the construction zone between Rexdale and north of Finch, but the westbound Derry and the Finch ramps to the north 427 are still closed, as well as the ramp to Finch and Highway 7. Next report at 12:21, and with the forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
We're starting things off with a cloudy sky. Still a bit on the mild side for the morning hours, giving way to a partly cloudy afternoon and cooler. It will be breezy. Just to 60 kilometers per hour at daytime high of 22. Partly cloudy into the late afternoon. Pop-up showers possible outside of the city. Likely going to be down to 14 for the morning low during the day tomorrow. Another day with a mix of sun and clouds. Slightly warmer, 25 degrees in the forecast. There is the possibility of a stray shower popping up into the afternoon during the day tomorrow. Something we'll continue to keep an eye on. Today, it's a high of 22 in the forecast.
And right now we're sitting at 19 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 680 News Time, 12:13.
The Toronto International Film Festival announcing they are laying off 31 employees, a 17% cut of the organization's full-time staff, all due to the pandemic. In a joint statement, co-heads Joanna Vincenti and Cameron Bailey said, quote, all TIFF employees are respected team members, and this is a heartbreaking decision, end quote. The announcement comes after TIFF cut 15 employees in November over what it called a comprehensive review of its 5-year plan, with most of the province of Ontario currently now in stage 2 of reopening plans. Indoor movie theaters, including the TIFF and Bell Lightbox, remain closed. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll recap your top stories.
680 News Time, 12:14.
Oh, sugar. Sonoma Beach. That's Bolshevik. Trying to do Google AdWords yourself can be bad for business and frustrating. Pretty soon you're not using AdWords, you're using AdWords.
Here are the top stories this hour.
Anyways, in Yorkville, the first Toronto patio to open its doors at 12:01, about 14 minutes ago, to celebrate stage 2 of reopening here in Toronto. More than 24 patios will be opening Wednesday with the physical distancing measures in place, while barber shops, public pools, splash pads, and some malls across Toronto and Peel region have been given the go-ahead to hit stage 2. Stock up on Phoenix and Cracker Jack and claim your spot on the couch. An agreement has been reached between Major League Baseball and the Players Union. Players will be heading to training camp July 1st ahead of a 60-game season that will start on July 23rd or 24th. The Blue Jays heading to Dunedin, Florida for
already
Andre Alessia, the man found guilty of setting up a fake GoFundMe account for the Humboldt Broncos bus crash and netted $4,000 that he will be spending 14 months in jail. Now, 680 Sports.
You can do it straight to his own bank account.
Major League Baseball and its players have agreed to terms on a 2020 season, and players will soon report for spring training part 2 on July the 1st. The two sides had to hammer out health and safety protocols to get the deal done. The season will be 60 games, and there will also be a trade deadline on August 31st. On the same day that COVID-19 testing procedures kicked off in the NBA, Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic has tested positive, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. The Nuggets star has been asymptomatic in his home country of Serbia and is expected to be cleared to fly to the U.S. by next week. Also in Serbia, Novak Djokovic and his wife have tested positive for COVID-19 after returning home from Djokovic's Adria tennis tour, where 3 other tennis players contracted the virus. In a statement on Twitter, Djokovic said he was extremely sorry for each individual case of infection and hoped that it would not complicate anyone's health situation and that everyone will be fine. And the news found hanging in Bubba Wallace's garage stall at Talladega Superspeedway had been there since at least last October, according to the FBI, and there will be no charges filed. Authorities say its investigation determined that the rope was fashioned like a noose but was being used to pull down a garage door. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590. 680 News Time, 12:17.
Uline's Warehouse in Milton is looking for passionate people to join its growing team. Uline is a family-owned company with a long history as a stable employer and offers wages starting at $22 an hour, plus generous benefits and the opportunity to earn annual bonuses.
It sounds like bullshit.
Wow, warehouse associates, distribution managers, and warehouse leads. To learn more and apply, visit uline.jobs/Milton.
Country, we're real estate experts, and we're
Sports is about COVID and racism.
Damn, son, I got it. You know they like a gun. Tandem just for fun. They wanna see me with my hands out begging for funds. They ain't gonna see that shit cause I really make runs. They saying that they gotta get the job done. And when my crew come, they ain't gonna say no more in the slum. They gonna be deceased from head to toe. They ain't gonna breathe no more. Ain't gonna see no tree. Ain't no more paradise down here. It's only hell or up. You won't get a chance no more down here. I ain't showing no fear. I gotta ride for my other side. And they gotta ride for me cause they gotta say that they'll die for me. They gotta shine for me. If I shine on my own, then fuck, they won't die for me. They won't die for me. They won't die for me.
The company in one response says the item is sold and shipped by a third-party seller, adding that they forwarded the comments to the appropriate department to look into it further. Now, further exploration of the website shows there are also Blue Lives Matter and Police Lives Matter branded items for sale on the same website. We have reached out to Walmart Canada for comment, but haven't heard back. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Well, police say they're investigating a hate crime after nooses were found near a construction site in East York Hospital. Police say the nooses were discovered just outside Michael Guerin Hospital near Coxwell and Mortimer on June 10th. No arrests have been made, and police have not provided any suspect information. Toronto police investigating after posters and stickers promoting white nationalism appeared on light poles, transit shelters, and parking meters in Etobicoke. According to the CBC, the posters and stickers were seen in the area of Dundas and Royal York this weekend, and city staff are now working to remove them. The posters reportedly contain messages like, "Never apologize for being white," while the stickers listed a website for a Canadian white nationalist movement. Officers canvassing the neighborhood for witnesses and possible video. And a Toronto police officer and his brother charged with assaulting a black Whitby teen back in 2016 will soon learn their fate. A judge scheduled to deliver a verdict in the trial. Michael Theroux and his brother Christian Friday morning. The brothers are accused of beating then 19-year-old Devontae Miller so badly he lost an eye, though the defense is casting Miller as the aggressor. Friday's hearing will be streamed online. Stateside, meantime, one of the three Louisville officers involved in the shooting of Breonna Taylor has been fired. Police Chief Robert Schroeder making the announcement earlier on Tuesday. In a statement, Schroeder saying Officer Brett Hankinson violated standard operating procedures for the use of deadly force. 2 other officers remain on administrative reassignment. Taylor, a black woman, was shot 8 times by officers who burst into her Louisville home using a no-knock warrant during a March 13th narcotics investigation. No drugs were found at the time. 680 News Time, 12:21. It's time for 680 traffic and weather together on the ones. First up, the traffic center with Craig Gear.
Still pretty slow out there if you are on the westbound 401, approaching the 427. And we have construction here whittling your lanes down. So underneath the 427, it's really slow. And we are seeing some slowdowns still through this construction zone, but the rest of our construction out there isn't slowing you down at all. It's a pretty nice drive wherever you are. We have some ramps that are closed out. Southbound Trafalgar ramp to the eastbound 401 closed. The northbound Allen, southbound Morningside, and southbound Port Union ramps to the east 401 are also blocked off. The Brock Street ramps to the westbound 401 closed, as well as the Nielsen, the Markham, and northbound McCowan ramps. Southbound Martin Grove ramp to the west 401 is blocked off as well, too. North and southbound 400 ramps to Highway 9 shut down for a crash investigation. Probably going to stay closed for a little while longer. And we have no access to the North 427 this morning from westbound Derry or either direction on Finch. These ramps onto the highway are closed. The North 427 ramps to Finch and Highway 7 are also blocked off. Your next report is at 12:31, and with the forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
Cloud cover's going to linger into the morning. Sunshine expected to break through into the afternoon. Daytime highs, cooler, fresher, but breezy. 22 degrees, lower humidity, winds gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. Overnight, we have temperatures down to 14 degrees. Tomorrow, it's a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs of 25. There is the slight chance of a pop-up shower into the afternoon. As we head into Friday, warming up back to 29 degrees, feeling into the lower 30s. Should be a partly cloudy sky, but storms return on Saturday. That round of wet weather happening early in the day. 27 degrees your daytime high. By Sunday, it's mainly cloudy. Still going to be mild at a high of 28 degrees.
Today, 22 with the
forecast. Cockroach or bedbug all fucking day.
Right now, going downtown
I guess they got the
Toronto,
fucking
we are
message.
sitting
Hey,
at
gonna
the
die over
sky
here,
at
right?
19 degrees. Similar conditions, just a degree cooler at 18 at Pearson International Airport. 680 news time, 12:23.
Marineland is getting ready for their 2020 season to provide a safe, fun outdoor experience for the whole family to enjoy. With wide open spaces, rides for the kids big and small, exciting animal exhibits, and great spots for families to picnic. Marineland has it all. They're opening soon and can't wait to see your family having fun at the park this summer. Visit marineland.ca to learn more about the reopening plans for 2020.
You don't sell whale burgers and
Be the first to know.
With 680 News, breaking news alerts.
Delivered to your device the moment it happens.
Powered by the
all your
Monitoring
trainers
Center Home
get
Security.
Subscribe
one
now.
per week.
680news.com.
Like every week, but on a different day.
This
I'm
news
like every
segment
week
brought to
on a
you by
different day.
Area Rug Shop.
But every so often it'll be the exact same day, just
to
to
stall
fuck
away. Camptio registration
pick a
opens
different day.
early
Last
this
time was
morning.
Tuesday,
Registration
2
for
days in a row.
Etobicoke, York, and Scarborough kicking off at 7 o'clock in the
All
morning.
your
And
trainers
on
get eaten by
Thursday,
whales.
East York, West Toronto, and North York regions will be able to register as well. You can do it all online at efun.toronto.ca. Well, the AGO will be opening next week to members. Meantime, Ripley's Aquarium is reopening as well on Friday with the new safety measures in place. For starters, Ripley's strongly recommending all guests wear some sort of face mask or covering. All the staff on site will be required to wear those as well while working. Online reservations are required, and guests will have to self-scan their own tickets at stations inside the lobby. In addition, floor graphics are now located throughout the aquarium to indicate appropriate physical distancing and one-way flow. Police are appealing for your help to identify a suspect who they say is connected to 4 sexual assaults in the downtown core. He's described as an Asian man in his 20s, approximately 5'10", with short black hair. Police allege he committed 2 sexual assaults on May 23rd, the first assault taking place near Bayon College. Then on June 11th, police allege the man sexually assaulted another woman, this time near Yonge and Gerrard. Finally, on June 14th, police say the suspect sexually assaulted a woman near the corner of Wellesley and Bay. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. And the province's police watchdog says an investigation into an incident where a Mississauga woman was shot by a Peel police officer on Mother's Day is almost complete. On May 10th, Chantel Krupka was shot at her home in the Matheson and Heather Lee Avenue area near Mavis and Britannia. The SIU says they have canvassed the area for evidence, interviewed the victim, 4 civilian witnesses, and 6 police officers also considered witnesses. Carl Garnish has your business news next.
Johanna has joined the call.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing today?
Oh, hey, Johanna. Wow, is that a new rug in your living room?
Yeah, it is. I was at Area Rug Shop on the weekend and found the perfect rug for my space.
Looks great in there. I'm amazed at what a difference a rug can make in that space.
Me too. I was really impressed by the service I got at Area Rug Shop.
Andy has joined the call.
Oh, sorry, wait. Wow, Johanna, is that a new rug?
Area Rug Shop showrooms are now open 7 days a week. Or shop when you want at arearugshop.ca.
Use your outdoor voice and it will complement the outdoor rug, or vice versa.
With the Scotiabank Ultimate Package, you can get a boost to your savings, unlimited Interac e-transfer transactions, and a $300 welcome bonus. So make the most of what comes next with the Scotiabank Ultimate Package. For a limited time, conditions apply.
Ain't gonna shower. They ain't shining with me because I put them all in the past. I told all these haters cut them off and all to kiss my ass. Haters don't love it, I ball just like Nash. Saying that they want a ball, throwing bins in the trash. I'ma hit it up like fuck it, haters. I gotta see it later, like fucking adding up my stacks with the calculator. Saying that they wanna brave something just like braver. I'ma be braver than you, probably be the first heartbreaker. I never broken hearts before, but I just might take you. Shit, boy, I gotta remix this shit like a bitch gotta read this.
Hey, Young Black Bush, YBB. Niggas really talking like this sick. See me on the strip, they ain't walking with a stick. Hit him in the rib, now we living in the dirt. Stupid gassy bitch, yeah, she moving like she sick. Nigga double M, yeah, she called her on her shit. Drop the addy, dumb bitch, still didn't fly through. You sip, you.
Middle sketch, I don't know, it's a ghetto thing everywhere, or it comes from certain cultures that happen to, on this part of the world, be oppressed. So it's amongst the poor people. He said living in the dirt. I say dead in the dirt. Did you see? Like, that's some reincarnation type shit. The death is divine shit. The king is dead, long live the king. King is dead, long live the king. That's why when it says kill the king, you have to read deeper than that. The person that wrote those is smart enough to know what that means. He lives with his friends in the mortuary. Thank you. Sound like he's French or whatever as first language, does he?
These fuck niggas really talking like it's sick. See me on the strip, they ain't walking with a stick. Hit him in the rib, now we living in the dirt. Stupid gassy bitch, yeah, she moving like she sick. Nigga double M, yeah, she called her on her shit. Drop the addy, dumb bitch, still didn't fly through. You sip, feel street bitch, you would fly you. You watch your man get done in, try to lie me. Hit me with a hammer, shit got grimy. You a lying bitch, you a thought, you slimy. All them lies you saying, we ain't buying. Talking about he was in my arms, I was crying. You was stupid goof, you were in stations. Talking to the cops now, bitch, you were basic. Fly high Dustin, now he's a skeleton. Shouldn't try to kill me now, bitch, he's a gas pack. He was in your basement smoking that crack. On other heads, it's your term of illin'. Talking buddies come to get me, bitch, are you illin'? If you come to Regent Park, nigga, you be missing. Toss him in the river, he's swimming with the fishes. Should've shut your mouth, you're part of the disses. Now it's on to live, you a ugly bitch. We know your coochie stinks. You shoot the thought, team money, all for the links, all for the clout. You should've took another route. Little nigga, said it smells like sauerkraut. Last stuff, but last but not least, you think you're free? It's on to Britney. You don't want the polys, I promise you don't. Run up in your house, take you out like Pop Smoke. Then we backtrack, trapping, yeah, we on the roads. Fuck niggas. If you sick, respond. If you're not, shut your fucking mouth. Young black boys are bad.
I'm trying to remember if this stupid box will unzip or unzip file, and I don't remember if it will. Yes, some of these fucking devices.
Make me run away from this clash, yeah. This clash, yeah. And there is no DJ can boost the competition to the
Four, three, two, one, and slap the track. Black 43 same for the package. They get their views up and then they take advantage. We kill it from the inside, baby. Miscarriage for the cabbage. Special savage, get a bandage. Niggas couldn't manage. Suplex on the canvas. I'm Randy Savage. You know that's a work of art. Silhouette, my nigga slide when you wear the parts on parts. I can have that way from the part out there. So freeze with a card that slave. Don't watch my age, just watch when I pop my kids. I fought engaged when niggas wouldn't watch them ways. I'm not amazed at y'all. Talking brave, there's chop for trade. That nigga, we just spot the place and drop the strays for this chat that I got in case. It's like a hurricane, that niggas gotta rock the place. So what my dudes now? It's like my dude they've been doing now. When you stop, get it like a U-Haul and move around. Kids got my music in class, but in the schools down. The demon killed Jesus, get some king of the Jews now. A shot blasted was blasphemous. Rip this piece off, Jesus went to Nazareth. Getting money, we gon' tax them all. We can slap the back of boys, nigga, like a racquetball. Bike crash, niggas still rapping when I had clapped my job. Got a new strap, to the body I can practice on. You niggas make this easy, call Keezy. Niggas disrespecting their set, she get TT. Couldn't take a shit on this paper, it's not TP. Brooklyn fucking 9 months, told me to drink green tea. I gotta could've washed these bags. I got an AR in this hockey bag. See, that's the most basic. When I step out the matrix, try to give you a playlist. I put that on my handkerchief. I'm from a gang of Crips. Dodgy Kong with a banging off a banana clip. LL when a nigga carrying that cannabis. So one style whenever they beating niggas on cameras. We transport weight, it's grams. On the Delta.
Fucking you never know who you're going to meet inside a correctional facility or detention center, really, because it's mostly non-convicted. I forget why. I don't remember what the call. said that they just gave me the TB test or whatever. I said something about the TB test. And oh, the chip. And then I thought, oh shit. Oh, this kid's gonna tell me that there's a chip and the TB test. Right? Okay, I need to hear this from you. Right? You're an expert on this. That's why you're in here, right?
Wait, look strong enough to bribe or have your belt pilot. Fuck house arrest and go visit you with the bell cops. You're not home, I promise that you gon' see what your bell does. From the projects, then you gon' catch the concept. From 007 to rock a lot with the complex.
You go catch the concept of bail, so they steal a police cruiser to go and make the next sale.
They trying to throw a gun on me. It's only allegations. If it was mine, it was in case they tried to run on me. 3 to 5 is what they asking, but I won't wipe the day. Got a little daughter to raise, so I'ma fight the case. When I got that phone call, man, I couldn't talk that talk. You an angel, I'm white in that wooden box. That's a vision I could never remove. And if I go, it's cause I'm dancing with the devil in the heavenly mood. That's like mixing water with oil, but crippling with the blood in that. Fuck this game shit. I just really want my brother back. I want that joy put back in his mother's heart. I want them bullets reversed that hit his brother's heart. When I back the ratchet ahead and back in the ways. And we get friends, this ain't back in the day. 2017, I probably put the map on his face. Fuck these shows, shout back to back to the stage. I'll shoot it up and then I'm turning around. On my hit shit, while I'm running, disassemble it on some sick shit. Take the springs out so it won't shoot in ballistics.
This shit is what's coming out of my eye.
Yeah, I was raised with a savage. Grew up with them savages. Never ran in my temperature kids. I only slap back and split calls. And this rap shit ain't the only way I put my hood on. Put my hood on with a black mask and a broken strap. Still bang 6 and dented whips when I hold it back. Why'd I roll with that in these streets? There ain't no holding back. Gotta move, needing the street, busting an older strap. I got 7 in that 5th like my block number. 17 in the clip for my blockbusters. I ain't gotta wait for my tape. This ain't no blockbuster. My young boy was 14 when he shot something.
This is not a credit card here. If you didn't put it on here, what if I go to the store and accept it?
Even when I got knocked, I was repping the same. A week later, 10 bands just to get out the cage. Fake love, handshakes and love. There's 8 in the snow. That's 2 more than the 38 I gave to my cuz. And if you know me, you know that I've been real. Since a little you, I'm the block riding big wheel.
Slightly better than it was
before. This block with the big steel. Peanut butter Glock left his brains on the windshield. Rock paper scissors.
3,500, no questions asked. If you give me 8 for the fucking car, so you told the car away.
So I'm outside with a nice wave. Dark clouds follow me everywhere I go. I'm hearing voices talking to me while I'm sleeping at night. Eyes open, can't move, get a person in sight. Premonitions and visions, you can see the red in my eyes like the red light underneath the black 45. How you got it done, but you ain't walking with it. It's like a pit bull locked in a cage. Chew through flesh when it bark, active bite. See the scene low key, quiet storm playing on the getaway. Rolled up to calm my nerves. Adrenaline still rushing through my veins. It was either me or him, so for that I couldn't complain. Simple message for you little niggas, better stay out the way. Test my arms, then I bear arms. It's only right. I do you niggas like they did King, cause of hell that the red light. You try to reach, then I'm wheeling with the mat. Broad day shooters, you know about this. In the West End, everybody heard about it. On that Master P, all my niggas about it. When your flame lit, niggas coming through the alley. Yellow tape on your strip, hella shells on the floor. That's how my niggas do it when it's time for the war. That's how my niggas do it when it's time for the war, nigga. 714G, nigga. Fifth for the motherfucking grind, nigga.
People think they're on lockdown. They're both hanging free, and this one looks straight and level. Well, that's one looks straight and level is. I'm not falling over too far. This is bad. I don't trust the 437 motherfuckers.
was in crisis and needed his medication, but then police showed up. The family now calling for justice and wants the officer who shot Chowdhury fired.
Start taking back empties. Yeah, don't go there Monday because there's going to be a big long lineup.
Back to Basics elementary math curriculum, which includes new sections on financial literacy and coding. Students from grade 1 through 8 will begin learning the updated curriculum when the school year resumes in September. And Premier Doug Ford says this is the first restructuring of the math program in 15 years.
For the first time ever in Canada, students from grades 1 to 8 will learn coding along with financial literacy skills as part of the math curriculum.
Good, because they ain't taught nothing about it. Yeah, they like refuse to use dollar values of anything.
In the coming year as everyone adjusts to the new modules. For full details on the curriculum, head over to our website, 680news.com. The man found guilty of setting up a fake GoFundMe account for the Humboldt Broncos after the junior hockey team's bus crash is going to jail. Andrew Andruliaksa was found guilty by Saskatoon Provincial Court judge back in January and was sentenced to 14 months incarceration. The court heard he raised around $3,900 with that fake account, which GoFundMe reimbursed back to donors. Crown prosecutor Darren Howard says he's taking advantage of the Broncos tragedy was reprehensible. There was such a wide outpouring of support and donation for those families for this tragedy. This is an anomaly. Part of Olsiak's jail sentence is for another crime. He pleaded guilty to an investment fraud worth $65,000 that happened before the Broncos crash. 680 News Time, 12:39. What is a beach, or is it? The mayor of South Bruce Peninsula says the municipality has shut down Sauble Beach, a popular spot for GTA day trippers. 680's Phil Martino has more on why they shut it down.
South Bruce Peninsula Mayor Janice
You wonder why do you go from
Johnson says this past
65
weekend
to
at
4?
Sauble Beach, everyone was flagrantly disregarding the rules. There were 10,000 people on the beach, far exceeding the 10-person gathering limit set by the province. And according to Jackson, they were also breaking regular bylaws, drinking on the beach, barbecuing.
Almost all of the tickets that were written this weekend were all from people out of town from the GTA area.
So she has this message for GTA residents who want to visit Sauble Beach.
An
We welcome them wholeheartedly as long as they can behave. If they can't behave, we simply can't host them. The safety of our community is paramount.
The mayor says they're reaching out to the OPP to try and get more officers there to help enforce the rules. According to Jackson, her community has remained relatively COVID-19 free, and they want to keep it that way. I'm Phil Martino.
With the Franco Ontario thing,
gas price update. Enpro predicted the price rose 1 cent at midnight to 105.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Coming up next, your traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 12:40.
Superfan with a super deal. Our biggest construction sale is on now. Don't pay for 6 months on all new cars. Your safety is our number one.
Oh, the prisoner of labor don't mean shit. If I buy that shit, the prisoner of labor makes the license plate. They take that money and go make what? A ventilator or some mask or some bullshit? Yeah, some poor bastards in there making license plates. Big deal. The license plates are already made.
Looking for a Hyundai?
I don't want that stupid blue plastic thing. That shit's gonna fall apart in a year in the sun. Minus 40 plus 40. Minus 40.
680 News Time, 12:41. Time for traffic.
Minus 40 plus 30. Minus 35 plus whatever the fuck it is. Ultraviolet light, all that
we're
shit.
still seeing a bit of a slow journey here because you're down to a single lane underneath the 427 on the westbound 401. So that construction's been in place for quite a while, almost every single morning, and it is there again. Northbound
Really, it's a sign.
404, we have some extensive road work happening in the
sign.
express and collectors north of the 401, right up to north of Finch. It doesn't look too bad up there anymore.
Is it North Finch? Is that why it's called?
Just heads up, not a lot of room to get by. Some other zones too where you don't have much room to travel, like eastbound and westbound 401 coming up to Brock Street through Whitby down to a single lane, and westbound 401 west of Highway 25 as well. Northbound 427 is another stretch between Rexdale and north of Finch, but no delays. We have the southbound Trafalgar, northbound Allen, northbound and southbound Morningside, and southbound Port Union ramps to the eastbound 401 shut down. The Brock Street ramps, the Nielsen, the Markham, northbound McAllen ramps to the west 401 closed as well. Southbound Martin Grove ramp to the highways blocked as well too. Northbound and southbound 400 ramps to Highway 9 shut down for a crash investigation. And northbound 427, no access to Finch or Highway 7 due to the construction here. Ask Sherwin-Williams and save 30% on paints and stains June 19th through 30th. Shop in-store or call for curbside pickup. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Your next report is at 12:51. With the forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
We're going to start today with some cloud cover. After that, partly cloudy. Cool breezy this afternoon, or cooler, I should say. Daytime highs 22 degrees.
You try to take lessons off the daytime girls because they're no good at this either, eh?
Overnight down to 14. Tomorrow it's partly cloudy, 25 degrees in the forecast. A mix of sun and cloud. There is a slight chance of a pop-up shower, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm late in the day, but I'm going to leave it out of the forecast for most of the GTA. Today, heading up to a high temperature of 22 degrees.
What did you just...
Still to come on 680 News, the president of Brazil has received an injunction, forcing him to wear something that so far he's refused to wear. 680 News time, 12:43.
As a homeowner, you have built up equity value in your home. With Capital Direct, equity equals flexibility for homeowners. Flexibility to finance your business. Flexibility to renovate your home. Or flexibility to pay off other bills like credit cards or property taxes. If you've got something you would like to take care of, call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL and see what's available for you. CapitalDirect.ca. Walmart is now rolling back prices on thousands of everyday essential items to help your family stretch every dollar. Save $1.50 on a family-sized box of Honey Nut Cheerios or Lucky Charms cereal. Now only $3.97. Walmart. Save money, live better.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. Currently 19 degrees and partly cloudy in downtown Toronto. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm James Mackin, and here are the top stories this hour. Toronto has officially entered stage 2, so you can enjoy a drink on the patio, a haircut, or a trip to the mall. However, just because we're in stage 2 now doesn't mean it's time to get rid of your masks. And if you're getting sick of spending all your time with your kids, summer camp registrations will be opening up on July 13th with some new modifications to the online system. And the education director at the Peel District School Board has been fired 1 day after the Ford government began investigating claims of systemic racism throughout that school district. 680 News Time, 12:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Rob Wong.
Took a lot to get here, but Major League Baseball and its players have come to an agreement for a 2020 season. Training camps will begin on July the 1st, and the season will be 60 games long. The season will start with 30-man rosters and will dwindle down to 26 in 4 weeks' time. The trade deadline will be August 31st. Denver Nuggets star center Nikola Jokic has tested positive for COVID-19, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Jokic has been at home in Serbia.
That's a great place to fucking not catch a fucking respiratory. How come it doesn't default to the last play?
This is for my haters, yeah, we got the greatest flow. Sipping on that medicine, you know we got that medical. Raven the young hood, nigga with some hooligans. Raven the young hood, nigga with some hooligans. That's why I hate us, yeah, we got that greatest flow. Sipping on that medicine, you know that shit is medical. Raven the young with some hooligans.
Listen, boy, these rappers be tripping. Shit used to be cold, not cooking in the kitchen. Right slash sunny, listen, lane switching, steady dipping. I'm not here to play. I've been walking through hell, I'm not here to stay. You asking what I'm burning? Smoking Mumbai, and who are they? A bunch of haters with nothing so good to say. OC, MTL, mark this on your log. We bringing so much smoke, the streets catching all the fog.
666 doesn't count. That's 4 sixes. It's 4 sixes. I know it's technically 661. No, it's 4 sixes. There's 2 more 6. Hold on, there's 6 sixes in that number. What the fuck?
The gavel start giving me space. So if I get lucky with this money, then I'll be pulling that ace.
Sipping on that medicine, you know we got that medical. Raven the young hood, nigga with some hooligans. Raven the young Red and black, y'all with some hooligans. Red and black, y'all with some hooligans. And I be grinding, I'm on my grind, bro. And I be smoking on that killer, that be that high, yo. But famous nigga, yeah, you know we getting high, yo. Smoking on that purple, cause I don't fuck with that lean, though. Oh my god, killing shit like my name is Zod. Superman flying high like I'm in the fucking clouds. Red and black, got my back, rolling pure straight up out the pack. And my O's are Cheerios. Get some silly hoes, playing just a fool again. As you know, we play the way. Hit the pot, I'm smoking in these bitches, they so extra shit. Suck a dick, you fucking bitch, I gotta hit the block at 6. I gotta chop, he made a fix. Funny ain't called that a zip. Got him through the project quick. Pussy niggas talking shit. I ain't telling lies, hope. After work, yeah, that's my click. No key up next bitch. Haters on that trolling shit. I can never get rid of this, cause we taking over quick. This is for my haters, though. Yeah, we got the greatest flow. Sipping on that medicine, you know we got that medical. Red and black, young nigga with some hooligans. Red and black, young nigga with some hooligans. This for my haters, though. Yeah, we got that greatest flow. Sipping on that medicine, you know that shit is medical. Red and black, young with some hooligans. Red and black, young with some hooligans.
What is this? What the fuck is it? Never used that. What photo editor? What did I just hit? Photo edit. I was up here. Photo editors here. I hit this. Fuck up.
Yeah. It's that raw shit. I know some rappers in the game became stars quick. Entertaining y'all while I'm hanging with cars. Real shit.
So much for that.
Slap gang. 2013. Free up on the down, fast track. Some motherfucking mafia. They ain't coming home tonight. Nah, they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and 5 trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and 10 trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and life trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. They paid the price, gave their life, they had to sacrifice. And they ain't coming home tonight. Free up all the dogs that ain't coming home tonight. I got your family, what you need, I will pay the price. I got your family, anything they fucking need. Yeah, I got it, I'll hold you down until you're free. Hold you down till you're free. Hold you down till you're free. I know that you sacrifice, so I hold it down. That's why we pay the price. I got some dogs 2 and 5 trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and 10 trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and life trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. They paid the price, gave their life, they had to sacrifice. And they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs in the pen, could you testify? I'll catch you fuck, boy, I'm finna let them fly. John Gotti tell the truth, this is gang life. You ready for a kill and it's worldwide. Bring them in from Mexico and we let them fly. If you catch us fuck, boy, then he's finna die. This is real talk, outlined in chalk. Motherfucker ran his lips, so we got a spark. You better work it out, you better fly out. Cause I'ma lock them up and put them in the doghouse. Deeper than rap, but this ain't game back. Cause you are familiar, we can get a rat. We can hunt them down, put the cheese in the trap. Till they lay me down. Oh, you fuck, load up 100 rounds. Put the rats in the dirt, yeah, the fucking ground. I got some dogs 2 and 5 trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and 10 trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. I got some dogs 2 and life trying to see the light. But they ain't coming home tonight. They paid the price, gave their life, they had to sacrifice.
Logan. Always finding big stories.
To buy Scotia iTrade. Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get started in 3 easy steps. ScotiaITrade.com. Uline's Warehouse in Milton is looking for passionate people to join its growing team. Uline is a family-owned company with a long history as a stable employer and offers wages starting at $22 an hour, plus generous benefits and the opportunity to earn annual bonuses. You will work in a safe facility for a company that prioritizes its employees' health. Uline is currently hiring for warehouse associates, distribution managers, and warehouse leads. To learn more and apply, visit uline.jobs/Milton.
When you need to know.
Breaking news.
What's
It's a massive weather system
regular
we're
SOC?
watching, spanning from Texas to the Maritimes. Traffic.
Just pull over Highway 400 and southbound 400 slow.
I'm not trying to sell it. We're trying to distribute funds today.
This moisture leaving Texas has triggered widespread rainfall warnings across the GTA.
When you need to know.
We're here.
This is 680 News.
680 News Time, 12:54. The Toronto International Film Festival announced they are laying off 31 employees. That's a 17% cut of the organization's full-time staff, and it's all due to the pandemic. In a joint statement, co-heads Joanna Vincent and Cameron Bailey said, all TIFF employees are respected team members, and this is a heartbreaking decision. The announcement comes after TIFF cut 15 employees in November over what it called a comprehensive review of its 5-year plan. With most of the province of Ontario currently in stage 2 of reopening plans, indoor movie theaters, including the TIFF Bell Lightbox, remain closed. Coming up in 60 seconds, your 680 News business report.
Hi, Tom Rokiki here of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Now, more than ever, it's important we buy Canadian. You'd be surprised as to how many big-name window companies import their windows from cross-border manufacturing plants. Inline Fiberglass proudly engineers and manufactures all our windows right here in the GTA. Canadian-made for a Canadian climate. Visit our showroom, book a virtual consultation, or visit us online at inlinefiberglass.com.
When we reopen, do I need to recall everyone?
What if some employees refuse to return to work?
How can I control my labor costs?
We are all going through challenging times, and you're not the only one with HR
Bankruptcy,
questions. My name is
you?
Stuart Rudner, and the team at Rudner Law has the answers to help you develop the right strategy. That way, you can get back to business.
HR lawyers, employment lawyers,
You just
workplace
don't
lawyers,
have to
whatever you
advertise,
call
yeah.
them, you'll be glad you did.
People
RudnerLaw.ca.
services now didn't even know it last year.
Now the 680 News business reports. Good morning, Carl Garnish.
Good morning.
What do
The
you mean I
NASDAQ
can't
continues
just
to
do
rack
this and
up
not how I
for record
want?
closes.
How many of these businesses are going to close?
Close of the month,
Simply
and it's
because the people in
21st
charge are
of
going to
the
find
year.
it out what the
It
law
rose by
actually says.
74 points to
You're gonna be mad.
10,131, higher for an 8th day in a row, its longest rally since December. Apple and Amazon added to the Nasdaq's gains, both soaring to fresh all-time highs, and U.S. shares of Apple rose 2.1% in Tuesday trading. Amazon was up by 1.8%. As for the Dow, it gained 131
Oh yeah,
points.
that one big bug
S&P
that woke
added
up with my
13,
head
while on Bay Street, the
Little
TSX was up by 47 points to 15,564. Now time for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. It rose by 0.9%, finishing at 1,782, its highest finish since October of 2012, also a 3-day rally. As for oil, it finished lower for the first time in 4 days, sinking 36 cents to close at $40.37 a barrel. Western Canadian Select was down by more than 2.1% to $30.99 a barrel. And the Canadian dollar fell by 15/100ths of a cent, closing at 73.80 cents U.S. Today, earnings are expected from BlackBerry, and Bloomberg's Larry Kofsky has more on what
BlackBerry
we're
has
watching.
earnings?
As we approach July 1st and the start of the third quarter, St. Louis Fed President James Bullard says the economy may be at a turning point in its recovery from the pandemic lockdown.
I've long advocated that the main impact will be the second quarter of 2020, and its third quarter will be kind of the opposite of the first quarter. First quarter is a big decline. Third quarter will be a big increase.
The economic calendar is relatively quiet today. We'll get the government's monthly report and a weekly tally of mortgage applications. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Radio. At the Business Center,
COVID-19 has turned
They are, according to the eye doctor.
Yo, welcome to my spot. You're now rocking with the illest. E-Block boys. We'll be keeping it the realest. I ain't on top cause I'm oh so fresh. This be the type of dude with the stress on the chest. Welcome to my spot, you're now rocking with the illest. E-Block boys, we'll be keeping it the realest. I ain't on top cause I'm oh so fresh. I be the type of dude with the stress on your chest, man. Like every minute to every second of every way. Like every minute of every second of every day. I'm looking for new words. I'm looking for new verbs. I'm looking for something to write out so I can just words. Like every fucking time that I write another line, another grind, another rhyme, just to suit my fucking mind. Staying sublime with every round that I write. Every time I hit the mic, if you get a feeling excited, hard to make it palpitate, make it jump and thump. Every time I'm bumping something, you gon' bump it in your trunk. Understand this, the stuff I make of some instant hits. You can never get to this, not even a little bit. The devil, the shaman, and all my homies too, bringing noises to the city that you only wish to never achieve. And dreams that you have your niggas all be scared of this glare. Yo, E-Block boy, we be keeping it the realest. Stay on top cause I'm oh so fresh. Be the type of dude with the stress on the chest.
Time for a check of